They can't bear the silence any longer. Every time they see your face in their mind, they want to reach out, but something stops them. It's driving them insane, not being able to express how much you mean to them. They've been longing to tell you everything on their heart, but the silence between you has become louder than the words they so desperately need to say. It's breaking them down more each day. They've practiced the conversation 1,000 times in their head, imagining every possible scenario. But when it comes to actually talking to you, they freeze. The silence is tearing them apart, and they don't know how to fix it. They wonder if you even miss them the way they miss you. They want to ask, to reach out, but the fear of no reply keeps them locked in a painful silence that is consuming their thoughts. They're on the verge of breaking, the silence between you gnawing at their soul. They need to talk to you, to hear your voice, but their own insecurities have built a wall they can't seem to climb. Every day without talking to you feels like they're losing a piece of themselves. They need to express what's inside, but something holds them back, and it's driving them to the edge. They thought they could handle it, the distance and silence, but it's becoming unbearable. Every moment without talking to you is a moment they feel further away from you, and it's making them feel lost. They've been holding on to their feelings, afraid to speak up, but the weight of their silence is crushing them. They're desperate to tell you everything that's been bottled up, but fear keeps them in the shadows. They miss the sound of your voice, the way you made them feel understood. Now, the silence is louder than any words, and it's making them question everything they once knew. The gap between you has grown so wide, and they feel like they're standing on the edge, ready to fall. They need to talk to you, to bring you closer, but they can't find the courage to take that step. They're trapped in a web of overthinking, imagining every possible outcome of reaching out to you. The silence between you is suffocating them, but the fear of rejection keeps their words locked inside. They spend hours staring at your messages, wanting so badly to reply, to say everything they've been feeling, but something holds them back. The silence is unbearable, and it's tearing them apart. They never thought the silence between you would last this long. Every day that goes by without speaking to you feels like a day lost, and it's making them question if they'll ever have the courage to reach out. They feel like they're losing you more and more each day. The silence between you creating a distance they're terrified they can't close. They want to talk to you, but fear is their constant companion. They've been trying to move forward, but every step feels heavier without you by their side. The silence is deafening, and they're starting to wonder if they'll ever be able to break it. They're haunted by the words they never said, the things they wanted to express but couldn't. Now, the silence between you is growing louder, and it's tearing them apart from the inside. They need to hear from you, to know that you're still there, but every day of silence makes them doubt more. It's driving them crazy, this waiting, and they don't know how much longer they can take it. Their heart is heavy with unspoken words, and the silence between you feels like a canyon they can't cross. They need to talk to you, to tell you how they feel, but fear keeps them from making the first move. The silence is suffocating, filling every space where your words used to be. They need to reach out, to break the quiet, but they're terrified that it might be too late to fix what's broken. Every day without talking to you feels like a part of them is fading away. They need to speak, to share what's on their heart, but the fear of how you'll respond keeps them silent. They've written so many messages, poured out their soul in drafts they've never sent. The silence between you is deafening, but they're too scared of what might happen if they finally press send. They feel like they're standing at a crossroads, with one path leading to silence and the other to vulnerability. They want to talk to you, to say everything they've been holding back, but fear is keeping them frozen. Every time they hear your name, it feels like a stab to the heart. The silence between you is unbearable, and they need to tell you how they feel before the distance becomes too great. They've been watching the clock, counting the days since you last spoke. The silence between you feels like an endless void, and it's making them question everything they thought they knew. They've been holding it all inside, the words they've wanted to say for so long. It's driving them mad, not being able to tell you how much you mean to them. Their heart aches with every passing second without communication. Every moment they stay silent is like a storm building inside their soul. They need to talk to you, to share the depth of their feelings, but the fear of rejection keeps them frozen in place. They replay your conversations in their head, trying to figure out what went wrong. The silence between you is deafening, and it's making them feel like they're losing you, piece by piece. They can't sleep at night, tossing and turning with thoughts of you. There's so much they want to tell you, but the distance, the lack of communication, is tearing them apart from the inside. Each time they pick up the phone, their hands tremble. They want to hear your voice, to feel the connection once again, but something holds them back, and it's slowly driving them to the brink. The unsaid words are like a weight on their chest, growing heavier with each day. They want to open up, to let you into their thoughts, but they fear the silence that might follow if they do. They're drowning in the sea of unsent messages, every unread text a reminder of the void between you. They need to speak to you, to close the gap, but their own fears keep them at bay. Every song, every movie, every sunset reminds them of you. They need to tell you how much they miss you, how much they care, but the silence has become a wall they can't seem to break. Their mind races with a million things they want to say, but every time they try, the words just don't come out. The lack of communication is eating them alive, and they wonder if you feel the same. They stare at their phone, waiting for your message, hoping you'll reach out first. They want to tell you everything, but the thought of your silence in response is too painful to bear. They've written 1,000 drafts, deleted 100 more, all filled with the emotions they've been bottling up. They want to speak, to clear the air, but they're terrified of the unknown. The distance between you isn't just physical, it's emotional, and it's tearing them apart. They need to hear your voice, to know you're still there, but they can't find the courage to break the silence. The longer they go without talking to you, the more lost they feel. It's like they're wandering in the dark, and you're the only light they need, but they don't know how to reach you. Their thoughts are consumed by you. Every moment of silence feels like a missed opportunity, but they're afraid that opening up now will only push you further away. They're trapped in their own mind, overthinking every word they want to say to you. The need to communicate is overwhelming, but they can't find the right moment, the right words. They long to hear your laughter again, to feel the warmth of your words, but the silence has become an unbearable companion. It's driving them crazy, and they don't know how much longer they can take it. The silence between you is like a prison, and they're desperate to break free. They need to tell you what's on their mind, but they fear that once the words are out, everything will change. They've tried to distract themselves, but nothing works. The need to communicate with you is consuming them, and every moment they don't talk to you feels like an eternity. Their heart races every time they see your name pop up on their phone, but the conversation never seems to go the way they want it to. They're desperate to tell you the truth, but they're afraid of losing you. They replay every moment you shared, every word you spoke, and it's driving them mad. They need to hear your voice, to feel that connection again, but the silence is like a wall they can't break through. They've been holding back for so long, and it's starting to eat away at them. The silence is suffocating, and they're afraid that if they don't speak soon, they'll lose you forever. They want to pour their heart out to you, to tell you how much they miss you, but the fear of rejection keeps them quiet. It's tearing them apart inside, and they don't know how much longer they can hold on. The unsaid words are like a ticking time bomb, and they're terrified of what will happen when it finally goes off. They need to talk to you, to tell you everything, but the silence is paralyzing. They sit in silence, staring at the messages they've written but never sent. They're desperate to hear from you, to bridge the gap, but something holds them back, and it's driving them crazy. They've been on the edge for days, waiting for the right moment to speak, but the silence is becoming unbearable. They need to tell you how they feel, but they're afraid of what might happen if they do.